This week in gaming, we finally get more of where winds meet. Subnautica 2 is steeped. I'm talking about it's a dark tea of drama, and EA Japan takes a swing at Xbox and so much more, because this is the Nerd Cave Newz, and I am one of your hosts, Zach Dykes, joined by my good friend and co-host, Derek Daniel. Derek, it's been a minute. How's it going, my man?
It has been a minute. You know, we've had some work conflicts, we've had some scheduling conflicts, but we are here and we're happy to be here, man. It's been going well. I've been on vacation this week, been enjoying getting some rest and relaxation at the house, being able to pick up on some things, catch up on some things, some animes, playing some one video game essentially, but we'll get into that in a minute. But just having time to having some me time. Doing some retail therapy, like picking up some new clothes, like all that kind of stuff, just doing the things I haven't been able to do for the last couple months.
So you've been treating yourself yourself. Did you ever watch Parks and Rec?
No, I never watched Parks and Rec, but I've seen that reference a lot.
Okay. It's a good show. I highly suggest it, especially
that's where, what's his name?
Nick Swanson.
Him. But was that, or am I always get confused with that or The Office?
Ron Swanson, not Nick Swanson.
No. Yeah, Ron Swanson. I know who you meant.
Yeah.
Oh, what? Why can't I think of his name? The guy who plays Star-Lord off of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Chris Pratt. Yeah,
Chris
that's
Pratt,
where he came from. Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking that's where he got his start.
Yep. Yeah. I remember when he was getting interviewed, he's like, yeah, I just pretty much stopped drinking beer, and that's how I cut all the weight.
I mean, that'll do it, I guess.
Yeah, if you're drinking that much beer. And he says, glad you got a break, Derek.
Me too.
I'm glad you got a break too. They've been working you to the bone, and there's only one person that can work you to the bone, and that's me.
And you don't get your money's worth, unfortunately.
No, I don't. You and Kevin over here.
I'm about to say, Kevin doesn't either. We barely get a fingertip out of Kevin.
Yeah. Ron Swanson, played by Nick Offerman. Thank you, love. So I know I've been seeing you on Crunchyroll. Watching a lot of stuff. Are you caught up on Blue Exorcist?
Yes, I actually just finished it before I got on here.
Nice.
So, and I will say, we can talk about it after the show, but I will say where you stopped and where like that part, like after you stopped, it gets so good, man.
Okay.
I'm talking about now when I say this, I'm going to undersell it just because I don't want to oversell. But it is like similar lines, like plot wise, like intrigue, mystery to the return to Shiganshina arc in Attack on Titan.
Really?
That, going to the basement thing, because there's something that gets brought about and it just opens up a whole what's the phrase?
Can of worms.
Yeah, can of worms, Pandora's box. It opens up a whole plethora of things that you all of a sudden all right, why, how, when, all that kind of stuff. So
okay.
And then the second part is intriguing because it gives you a lot of it's like a flashback, and it gives you a lot of what we already know, but the lead up to that one is still really good. There's not really a lot of plot bombs that are dropped in this one, but the lead up and how we got here moment is told so well. So season 4, I said it when season 3 came out, that each season after season 1 keeps getting increasingly better, and season 4 was so well done, I think, in terms of just storytelling, really getting to the thick of the plot and why, because we got introduced to the main villain group in season 3, the Illuminati.
Yep.
And season 4 is just getting so explains why the Illuminati are doing what they're doing, what their actual ideology is, so it's just told so well. I'm sitting here going slapping the table every time something goes what in the heck is this? So I haven't, again, when it gets to the second half of the first part of the season, where you stopped, I said, my first thought was as each episode kept going, I'm this is giving me Return to Aaron's basement vibes. Let's go.
Okay. Well, I guess I need to pick it back up then and finish the season. Because I was just kind of the snake dude. Yeah. It was all right. It
wrapped up for them. I don't want to say overhyping it but for them touting it as the big first half of the season, like, and then for it to get cut off like barely halfway through, I'm just like, okay, they kind of oversold this, but then the second half, oh, this was a distraction to basically, hide the fact it's like, oh wait, we have better stuff setting up for you. I'm like, cool.
Yeah, I was kind of like, all right, I'll move on. But now hearing that, I'm excited. What's up, Michael? Hope you're doing well.
Mike?
Amy says, I'm packing right now from waking to sleeping.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where we're at right now, is we're packing.
Pack, sit down, pack.
Yeah, it's pack. We're Pac-Man and Pac-Woman, Miss Pac-Man. Which for everybody, I don't know, Derek, put you on the spot, but next week will be with Derek unless he can't make it, because this will be my last stream until we get moved, which will be the following week. Hopefully, we'll be back, but just letting everybody know that's where we're at.
I'm gonna hold it down.
He's gonna hold it down, y'all. He gonna hold it down. Speaking of holding it down, and you brought this up, Derek, what you been playing?
So I got a good chunk of Assassin's Creed Origins played. Like, I didn't really progress the story. Like, of course, I killed the last target, I think was the last time. Maybe it's been after our last show, but I know I killed our last target. And now I went to Cleopatra to like basically get like the final 2 names. But then there was a thing where I met with Aya, and it's like, all right, we got to go make sure we put Cleopatra on the throne. And it's like, it was one of those like, are you sure you want to start this mission? Because normally in other games when they do that, it's like it's about to be a long series of quests, so you can't just go off and explore, in between here. So I'm just like, I know this isn't the last one, but let me go clean up some things. Like, let me get these papyrus puzzles solved. Let me get some of these side quests cleaned up that, I was under leveled. Like I actually killed off the rest of the Falakes. So I found the, you get like a legendary gear for doing that, I think the only thing, like, I'm glad they're done because they keep like in Odyssey, the bounty hunters, when they introduced that system, but it was like one of those, like the Shadow of Mordor, like the Nemesis system, they would keep regenerating over time. And so you would never really get away from them. I was kind of glad there was just like a set of Falakes done, but I feel like they weren't as intriguing. Like, they didn't, in Odyssey, they kind of like introduced you to some of these, like made you care, like made them feel like more like people in the game. Whereas the Falakes are like, hey, we give them a name, but that's all you get. Just go kill them. You know what I mean? So they were just kind of like throwaways, but they at least served a purpose.
Yeah, like, it was an interesting idea because, it was the first one in that, new kind of feel for the game. And I'm glad they went deeper on Odyssey, but it was cool to be able to like track them down. And I remember it was like the first big town that you get into, one of them like showed up like randomly as I'm getting in there, and I'm like, oh crap. So I had to like fight this dude, and he was like way overpowered. And
oh yeah,
somehow I beat him, but I was like, holy crap. And I didn't fight any more of them unless I had to, just because of that first experience. I was like, these guys don't play around.
Nope. They're like the Predator. They just come and stalk you.
Yeah, they do.
But no, and I just went and cleaned up. I think I only have 3 just like blacked out areas left on the map to uncover. So, but I've been doing a lot. Been finding a lot, of intriguing side quests, just finding a bunch of like different terrains. Cause now like I was going up the upper left side of the map, like the upper left border, and finding like, the Roman influence in the top left corner, and then just finding more mountainous areas. I'm like, okay, this is giving me Odyssey vibes. And that leads me to like that Roman influenced area. I'm like, okay, this makes sense now. But it's just like different. It's just crazy the different biomes you come across in there. Cause again, the generic perception of Egypt is like, oh, it's just sand and pyramids. That's it. It's like, nope. It's got oasis. It's got water. It's got beautiful lakes. It's got, actual foliage in there. And like, yes, there is a lot of desert, but that's more like the bottom center of the map. But like the upper parts and like the upper half of the map is like actually beautiful and like breathtaking in a lot of parts. So again, I know I said this the last show we were on a couple weeks ago, but I feel like this was criminal. It should be a crime that this game didn't have any nominations or wins at the. I know when we looked at the Game of the Year nominees, it was a stacked year for sure.
Yeah.
So I understand why it wasn't in the Game of the Year conversation, but the fact that wasn't even nominated in other categories that it could have won is criminal. So this game should have, and I kind of get it. Like when I thought about it afterwards, I was like, people were burnt out on Assassin's Creed.
Mm-hmm.
They brought it back and they changed the formula, but people I think were skeptical because it was like, hey, we don't know if you are actually changing Assassin's Creed for the better and what we want, or you're just going to be Ubisoft and make it the game you want at the end of the day. And yes, they did it after Origins, but at least the first entry of it was done really well.
Yeah. And I'm glad that you finally have played it, because Origins is still, other than the Ezio trilogy,
right,
and Black Flag, this is by far my favorite of all of the Assassin's Creed games, just because I feel like Bayek and just like the story that you go on and the world, and it was just so different, like really stands out for me.
Right. And Bayek, I think is one of the, just in terms of, because I know there's and ever since after the Desmond story, the main, the modern day protagonist doesn't matter anymore at this point. They try and make you care, but it falls flat. But in terms of actual Assassins MCs, Bayek is one of the upper tier ones for sure. Obviously for Ezio takes the cake, but Bayek is up there. I think top 3 Assassins protagonists in the whole entire series. And it's a funny thing because I think there was a thing where you go to meet Cleopatra, you meet her envoy, in the beginning, and he offers you a cup of wine, and they were talking about just freedom and doing better for the country of Egypt, and he just takes the whole bottle and just chugs it right there. And he's like, for Egypt. And the guy's just looking I guess I'll have the cup then. I'm like,
oh my God. I forgot about that. The writing, you know what I mean? It just feels lived in a way, but it feels fresh at the same time. So if you haven't played Assassin's Creed Origins, Derek, does it still hold up for this time?
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
Especially because of and again, I haven't played Shadows, but I've seen enough clips and everything to where it's if you like the RPG system, I know Shadows does some different fighting mechanics and gameplay mechanics, but it's still if you like that style of Assassin's Creed, because I know Mirage kind of went off the beaten path a little bit from the RPG-ish side of things, but if you like any of the RPGs that came out, Origins, Odyssey, or Valhalla, or Shadows, you'll like Origins, so
I like it. Joe says, I've been playing mostly Marvel Rivals and then some started Star Trek Online. Is that the MMO one?
I think so.
I'm not a huge Trekkie, but it did look pretty cool. And then I tried Peak for the first time a couple of weeks ago. Peak has been kind of blowing up. It's a climbing co-op game.
Yeah, it was that one we saw a while back, that we were saying was a Jusant clone, right?
It's kind of like Humans Fall Flat and that kind of look to it. But I it looks like it would be fun to play with some friends and everything. So that's dope. Michael says, catching up on content, and yes, you should read Red Rising. Excellent series. It's on my list. I will be getting to it, but I am currently in the Sun Eater one. I had to take a break because, dude, this book so freaking bleak. The 4th book that I just finished, my God, if a man can get tortured once, he can get tortured 1,000 times, and that's what this whole.
So what you're saying is he's in a Tsukuyomi.
Yeah. Amy just handed these again. We're packing, getting ready to leave to move, but she handed me old Nerd Cave Network business cards.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I know. It says Nerd Cave in the old logo, old school logo here. Expanding your mind one nerdy subject at a time. Just saying, that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
I'll say
OG.
that catchphrase still holds up. I would feel like
It does. It does. It does. Apparently, Peak was made in Game Jam in like a month. That's
wow.
pretty dope. It's pretty dope. Yeah, the yellow glass is way back. That and like we used to use like the Nintendo like seal of approval around the glasses way back in the day. I still have that shirt. Can't fit in it, but I still have that shirt.
Hey, it's okay. You can just frame it.
You know, for me, what I've been playing is I've been playing the Altars, Derek, and it's a game where we saw it at a game showcase a long time ago, and it's like this big wheel, and you have to like go across this like planet, but you're creating clones of yourself to be able to do like different tasks in the base and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So here's how I explain it for people. It's Animal Crossing in space with clones.
Interesting.
Yeah. But the story is really cool because you're like sent on this mission and all of that. But you have to literally like manage all of the emotions of all these different clones, and they all have different personalities, but they're literally you, but you're pulling them out of different parts of your timeline where it would split. Like where you made a decision, they're making a different decision.
Oh, so it's like Loki season 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm down with that.
It's really good. Like you're gathering resources and all of this and like trying to make sure that this planet doesn't kill you because there's like just radiation all over the place. And if like you have to stay where the sun isn't, so you have to stay in night, so you have to keep moving your base, because if the sun like gets to where you're at, like it's so close to the planet, it will literally just catch everything on fire and kill you.
That's right.
Yeah, so it's really, really good, and I am just enjoying it. And I stayed up till like 1:00 on Saturday, going into Sunday, just because I was like trying to not like I had my crew mutiny on me and kill me in my sleep.
Wow.
I had one dude cut his arm off because he was like, there's phantom pain. He was like in his like real body, he lost the arm, so like when he woke up he had like his another arm, because I you know, he grew it or whatever. He's like, this isn't my arm. So like in the kitchen he cuts off his arm during breakfast, and everybody's like freaking out.
Woof.
So the game is called The Altars. It is really good. Like it's kept me from playing Expedition 33, Doom, like all of the games that I really want to play. Like I've just been like, I really want to explore and do all of these things. And it's like you're developing new technology, you're researching stuff, you're mining. There's so many cool things you get to do with it, and I'm really, really enjoying it. And of course, I've been playing a little solo leveling.
Of course.
You know, a little solo leveling.
I'd be surprised if you weren't.
Yeah.
So I'd be like, did you beat the game? Did it ban your account?
No. I definitely I need some people to join. I need to either join a new guild or some people join my guild, because I need the perks that come with a bigger guild.
Fair enough.
Y'all come and join the guild, y'all. You should try Dispatch Demo. I don't know what that is. I'll have to look it up. It's not a stream game. It's very vulgar, but it's fun. I have to check it out. Yeah, Altars is definitely not a stream game. That's why I haven't played.
If you have people cutting their arms off,
yeah, they're dropping F-bombs and all of that. So it's definitely not a stream game. And played a little bit of Mecha Break. I've been playing Blueprints as well. Really, really good puzzle game. So
yeah,
a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, I'll say you've been a busy beaver.
Busy little bee. And yeah, it's reading a lot too and watching a lot. I literally finished Kuroko's basketball and like the movie, the last game. Finished that. I finished Suits.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah, all 9 seasons, baby. Yeah. And Tires season 2. Very funny. Not appropriate though. Just letting y'all know Michael says, I started Empire Science, but hard time getting through it. It takes a little bit. I will say that, like, it does take a little bit to get into it. The first book is kind of setting up everything. And then, like, the second book, you actually get kind of more of like what you're expecting in the first book. I know it's a big ask, but well worth it. Me and my wife were watching Pokemon. Nice. Oh, we got a random Murdoch up in here. What up, my man? What up? I'm glad that you're here.
Where are you, Joe? Where are you in your Pokemon watch? I'm interested because it's up there. It's like One Piece now. There's over 1,000 episodes of Pokemon, so I'd like to know where you're at.
Oh, I do remember this. It has the style of Invincible with lots of story. You play as a dispatcher of superheroes. Okay, I like that. I've been watching To Be Hero X. Really good anime.
Yeah.
I thought it was all done, but apparently we got 24 episodes in this season. Oh yeah, so it's like not done.
Yeah, it's like 2 consecutive cours. So
yeah.
I'm gonna watch that eventually. By eventually, I mean after I get done catching up, because just finished Blue Exorcist. Now, Zach, I'm going to I got to rewatch season 1, but then I'm going to finally watch Solo Leveling season 2.
Ooh, let's go.
And then Fire Force and Black Butler just wrapped up their seasons, at least English dubbed. So I'm gonna catch up on those as well. But then I'm gonna get into some, like, because I actually did a thing, I told on this last episode of Eat Sleep Anime that I was gonna be watching current stuff as it comes out, like of stuff. But I also started watching a few new things as well. Some things that are this season, but I want to kind of go back and watch some things like from earlier, like from winter and spring, just to kind of get you. I'm just keeping it limited to 3, but To Be Hero X is on there, so nice. I'm gonna at least get caught up. And I'm excited, man. Like tomorrow is the finale, season 2 finale of Apothecary Diaries, and man, I cannot wait.
I know, dude. I'm excited. And season 2, episode 1 of Kaiju number 8.
We will be, and just spoiler alert, we will be doing our reactions to that on Saturday as well. Maybe we'll see. We got to work out the logistics, got to check times, but we're going to try and do a reaction to episode 1 of Kaiju number 8. But we will be at least giving our review of Apothecary Diaries season 2.
I know it's going to be so good. Have y'all spoken on HBO early years of Harry Potter? We have not. I did see a picture of Harry Potter and Hagrid. They look pretty good.
Yeah,
they look pretty good. Have no problems with it. I agree. It has been forever. Nate. Joe says he's got all the badges and he's doing the Pokemon League soon.
I'm assuming that's like the first league. So like basically they're still in Kanto is what I'm assuming. So, but cool.
Yeah.
Because I know that's the Kanto's a pretty long show to begin with anyway.
Mm.
They're all pretty long, but
I have not heard that the Snape actor was fired.
Interesting. Oh, I didn't know he was fired. I thought he just stepped down.
I hadn't heard any of that. Oh, okay. You've been here in spirit. Well, I appreciate that. Everybody, if you haven't already, hit the like button. Let's jump into what is and what forever will be the gaming discussion, because we got some stuff that we want to chat about tonight, y'all.
Yeah.
First up, Where Winds Meet gets a new trailer, and it's pulling the curtain back on the story of General Wong King. I guess that's how you say it, Derek.
Yeah, that's my best guess as well. So
yeah. So let's check out this trailer. Here we go.
We haven't seen anything. We haven't seen a Where Winds Meet trailer in a while, so
yeah.
I'm excited.
Woohoo! That looks so good.
I still remember like the first time you saw the trailer, you just saw the feel, and you're like, sold.
Yep.
They go into the rear palace. Oh, okay. So dope. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh.
来就一句金秀辉，
Okay.
此时是
All right.
龙舟地。
愿显烟云16州。
It's giving me like some Huns.
Yeah.
此生雷落我头天，老世事我记住天也不犯。
Okay.
其实是
当以10年开拓天下。
A lot of emperors over here, but they keep dying.
我斩。
Oh.
把世事换取金刀，披
All right, here we go. Oh, I love that the petals are the blood. The use of color is so cool. Like limiting it.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
so cool.
我就
Oh, that's so cool.
Mountain of bodies.
At the bodies at the.
You look old. Yep.
我所一世
At 100?
不要心虚，
Oh, can't grasp it anymore.
一句没
Interesting.
Fought till blood bled. He has been perished upright. He was 53.
Huh.
I'm sort of confused.
Right, because it's like, is that
But
the main
intrigued.
character? Is that
Yeah.
the main enemy? Like, yeah, we were getting a history lesson on the emperors, but it's like, how does this tie into the story? That's the only thing I question. Like, is the overall story like where's the through line in this? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, what's the main character? What's getting him motivated? Like, what's his end goal? Like, who's the villains? You know, type thing. So the first trailer was very intriguing. I feel like we got another trailer.
Yeah,
Since
there was
then,
a second trailer.
But it's all been different, and it's like, all right, I need some continuity here. And like, it's like, what is this game? You know what I mean? Like, it's all beautiful. Combat is very well done, stylish action, but it's like, all right, now what's my motivation here? You know, it's like, it's like actors going to directors like, tell me my motivation for this scene. You know what I mean? It's like, I need my motivation for this game, and I think that's the only question we're missing. And the fact that it's still slated for this year, you would assume fall at this point, but either that or like late holiday. But I'm not concerned, but I am just like, are they just riding on the beauty of this game now at this point?
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of what we're getting right now with it. Because the last time we saw it, it felt more Souls-like, and this felt more like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. It was a little bit more artsy, which I'm totally down for. But it's like, what is, like you said, what's the motivation? What's the through line? What is the combat actually going to look like? And now that we know that Yote, which we'll be talking about a little bit later in the show, Yote is coming out in October. It's like, how is this going to stack up with that?
Right. Like, are they gonna, especially because you got to assume, especially if, again, they're touting a 2025 release date. What if it comes out the like end of October? It's like, you're gonna have one at the beginning, you're gonna have Yote at the beginning, and then this, just for argument's sake, at the end, right? Like, how's that? Like, what is that going to be able to stand toe to toe with Yote? And I feel like at this point it's not going to. I mean, we're a little bit biased when it comes to Ghost, anyway. But it's going to have a hard. It was going to have a hard time stacking up, regardless. But I feel like where Winds Meet there is something in there. Once you peel back the layers, that is to be appreciated. I just feel like it won't get that satisfaction if it launches too close to Yote.
Yeah, I think the history part of it was kind of hard to like. There was like two different kind of like captions going on at the same time, so
and you only
I
have
feel
like 2 seconds to read it.
yeah, and it's like, oh, this is this emperor. I feel like there's a lot of lore that is going to be in this game, which I think will definitely deepen it. But we see that a lot, and again, we still don't know if it's Souls-like or not. You know, we see a lot of times Souls-like have really good lore, but it also, yes, they do sell well most of the time, especially like From Software games do. But it's like, is that what we're getting? Is it going to be more, you know, God of War combat? Is it going to be more Dynasty Warrior? Like the little bit that we saw in the first trailer was like, oh, this looks really cool because it's like a mix of like old Assassin's Creed like movements with I need more information.
Yeah.
Like it looks
like
really cool.
And I feel like we're getting different bits every time we see a trailer. So again, you know, not to beat a dead horse, we just need to, like, the next time we see it, it needs to have like it needs to have a center point, tell you why you need to play this game and what this game is about. And that either that, or since it's going to be, because it's been confirmed that it's going to be at least a PS5 exclusive for at least 6 months, do a state of play, do a deep dive like you did with Yote, like do it like maybe August. Like if the game's not coming out till October or later, do one in August or September. Give it its flowers, and just give a deep dive, and just give us like, even if it's just like a combat deep dive, that's at least more than what we've been getting in these last couple trailers.
Now, is this coming from Sony?
No, it's a second party.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it's a partner program.
Okay, so second party kind of deal.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know. Is like, where's this falling and all of that? But yeah, okay. So we still don't know on that end. But yeah, I definitely want more information. But until we get that, you know, maybe like if it hits October, I feel it's going to be competing against itself at that point. November, I feel like is a little late for that kind of game.
Yeah.
September, maybe, but I feel like it's too soon at that point, because we would have gotten some date at this point.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say we would have gotten a date already by that point if it was September, because spoiling one of the quick hits, Sonic Racing Crossworlds just got a release date, was yesterday, this morning, for end of September. So it's like we're already starting to get September release dates. So needs to make an announcement if it's going to be September.
Yeah. Well, only time will tell, but we know one game that is not going to be coming out this year, and that is Subnautica 2. My gosh, the drama, Subnautica 2 drama saga. We've got a lot on here. I'm just going to kind of toss it to you. I kind of put it all into one, Derek.
Yeah.
That way it's a little bit easier to go through. But man, this thing is messier than Emily in Paris, than Love Island, than any of those reality TV shows, because this is real life and money is on the line. So, Derek,
big money.
Take it away.
So it's two-parters here. I'm going to read both parts, and then we'll just give our overall reactions and, you know, thoughts on this. So the first part is more drama in the murky world of Subnautica 2 as official delay confirmation comes hot on the heels of damaging report into now unlikely $250 million bonus. So Subnautica 2, the underwater adventure game, has officially been delayed. It was supposed to come out in early next year, but now it's being pushed back even further. The company now that owns the game, Krafton, says they want to add more content before letting players try it. But there's drama behind the scenes. When Krafton bought the studio in 2021, they made a deal that the original developers could earn a huge bonus, up to $250 million, if the game was released on time and did well. Now that it's delayed, the bonus probably won't happen. Around the same time, Krafton fired several key leaders, including the CEO and game director. Those leaders say the game was ready, and Krafton delayed it just to avoid paying the bonus. Krafton says the leaders weren't working enough and that the delay was needed to improve the game. The fired leaders are now suing Krafton, and many fans are upset. Some are even talking about boycotting the game. For now, the game is still being worked on. The lawsuit is ongoing, and fans are waiting to see what happens next. Then the second part, Crafton blames leads for delay in statement, saying, quote, they abandoned responsibilities. In reply, the former leaders Ted Gill, Charlie Cleveland, and Max McGuire have filed a lawsuit. They say Crafton is delaying the game on purpose to avoid paying the full bonus. They also claim that the game was actually ready for early access and that Crafton blocked marketing and support to make it fail. Crafton then confirmed leaked internal documents showing the game still needed more work. They said these documents prove the delay is about improving content and polish, not money. The leaks showed parts of the game, like biomes and game modes, had been cut from the original plan. So right now, Crafton says the leadership team failed at their jobs and the game isn't ready. The former leaders say they weren't ready and they were ready and it's all about avoiding the bonus payout. A lawsuit is going on and everyone is watching closely to see what happens next, both with the legal fight and the game's progress. And man, like I know we'll get into it with a different article here in a minute, but I know we missed our window on the Microsoft drama that happens. Yeah. But this drama is just as bad, just as, just as like kind of like a shaking your head moment. Zach, I don't want to pose the question of who do you believe in this statement, because it's both bad, no matter how you look at it, whether obviously the truth will come down later down the road, whether that's, a month, a year, 10 years from now, who knows? But the fact of the matter is whether it was the leadership, like the people making the game rushed it to try and hit that so they can get the $250 million bonus, and the execs up to like Crafton was like, yeah, we're not rushing this game out because the first game was such a success. We're making sure the sequel is done right and people want to play the game, delay it. Or whether it's the other side where it's like, we don't want to pay out another $250 million or whatever, delay it. Come up with some bullcrap reason. We don't care. And then now the firing of the CEOs and that is the most intriguing part, because it's like, are you trying to hush them so that way they can't go like overrule you or like come at you like with stronger courts? I don't know. It's just one big mess and I don't like it.
Yeah. Corporations are going to corporate. You know what I mean? Anything that I've known about gaming over the years is that game developers usually want to make good games. They want to put out the best that they can, and Subnautica is really well loved. So if you're working on the full-fledged sequel, not like the 1.5 that came out, a few years ago, you're really wanting to deliver something that the fans want. This is kind of like Kerbal Space Station 2 or whatever.
Yes.
Like got delayed. And then I want to say Crafton even owns them. And then they finally killed the game. Yeah. It seems like this is a play over and over again for Crafton to happen, and it's something that is happening more and more in the gaming industry. We saw it in the movie industry recently with Batgirl and several other projects getting canceled, and they're taking we put in all this money, it's a tax write-off. What I mean? So where I'm coming from on this is I feel like a lot of this is corporations trying to protect their bottom line. And when people are starting to kind of fight back, that's when it's like, okay, we're going to let you go, and here are our reasons. You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, these
not gonna like them, but these are my reasons.
It's like, okay, these biomes aren't like fleshed out, but that's not part of the game. That might have been a DLC or something else, or something that they were trying to make work, and that just wasn't happening, because everything that we've seen of Subnautica 2 is like, this is ready to go into pre-alpha. And Crafton trying to avoid paying out $250 million because a team is succeeding and delivering the quality that is needed for their games is so shady, and so it's like you're moving the goalpost. It's gaslighting at their finest. It's like, we'll pay you this, we'll pay you. I'm not paying that.
No,
you know what I mean? And it's like, I wouldn't want to to get in any kind of relationship if that was how it's going to go. And there's always two sides to the story. Maybe they didn't have their eye on the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. Okay, that's going to get found out in discovery and all of this in this court case. But if they were doing their job and their team was crushing it and they're ready to put something out there, this is not going to look good for Crafton. People are going to leave working for them because they are not trustworthy.
Because Crafton also helped publish that Dead Space lookalike as well. I forget what the name of it was. It was literally like a Dead Space clone.
Yeah.
But that game came out and it was like underwhelming. So I think they don't want to have another one of those games. And it's sad because you would expect if this was like a Blizzard, if this was like a Ubisoft, we wouldn't bat an eye at this, right? Because it's like, oh, they didn't want to shell out $250 million. They just want to keep fattening their pockets. But seeing it, this is like a mid-tier level because Crafton's not huge. Let's just be fair. Like, yeah, they've done some really good games, but it's not up in the upper. It's not like the AAA budget space, So the fact that they're doing this means that nowhere is safe. You can't, like you said, corporations going to corporate. You're almost at the point where you just can't trust anybody.
Mm-hmm. Michael makes a good point here. That's a wild incentive to include in a deal, even for 2021.
Facts, because that's like middle of COVID, like prime COVID.
I'm curious how well Subnautica. There we go. So because there was Subnautica and Below Zero. Subnautica has sold over 6 million copies across PC, Xbox, and PlayStation, according to Unity. That includes the initial release in 2018 and its sequel, Subnautica Below Zero. So pretty good numbers. Below Zero, of course, didn't sell as much, but this is a well-loved game. And I know, like, when Below Zero came out, the one reason why Subnautica did so well, it was because of content creators like Markiplier. Like, I would watch Markiplier play Subnautica all the time back in the day, and that's the whole reason I even bought it myself and played it a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's like, people are going to go after this because it's such a love thing. People want to go back to something that they enjoyed, because those kids that bought it back in the day, they're probably in their 20s now.
Right.
And it's like, all right, oh man, new Subnautica is coming out. I definitely want to play that. So I don't know, dude. It's kind of sad to see corporations doing this, and it will come out, on whichever side, where I do feel like the corporation is Crafton is like, okay, we want to put out a good thing. We want to put out a good game, but it's also like, hey, we could avoid paying $250 million out.
Right. So it's like, hey, look, we're going to nitpick everything in this like early access part that you haven't finished yet. So let's just use that as our excuse to not pay you the $250 million.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause I've seen people, corporations do it for less.
Correct.
Do it for less. They're going to definitely screw over their workers. That's just kind of how it goes, late stage capitalism and all of that. And I'm all for capitalism. But not just to, mess people over,
Right.
That ain't cool.
No.
Sell your products, make something good, help people have a better life, enjoy their life more. That's what it's about. And you get to make good money at the same time. Not this crap. Crap. Speaking of crap, let's talk about EA calling out Xbox. EA Japan GM speaks out on Microsoft's layoffs and cancellation of games like Everwild and Perfect Dark, saying if a game was in development for 7 to 10 years, canceling feels like the worst move.
So Sean Noguchi, general manager at EA Japan, spoke up on social media after Microsoft laid off around 9,000 employees in its Xbox division and canceled games like Perfect Dark and Everwild, projects that had been in development for years. Although Noguchi clarified his views were personal and not EA's official stance, he shared deep empathy for developers, expressing, quote, deep pain that long-term creative work might never be seen or enjoyed. He urged that games under development for 7 to 10 years deserve to ship, even if they aren't perfect, because, quote, a decade of work could be a quarter of someone's career, and something is better than nothing for both teams and players. Noguchi also cautioned against announcing games too early. Quote, don't announce games that are still half-baked. Hype with no follow-through burns trust. His comments highlight a broader concern. Prioritizing short-term shareholder gains often comes at the cost of long-term creative investment and developer morale. And I agree. Like, I mean, I like 100%. And I think we're starting to see some of this. Like, yes, Everwild and Perfect Dark were, I think, like the remnants of like the last like thought process behind this, because you saw Sony like adapt to this really quickly. Like when they announced like God of War 2018 and Horizon like Zero Dawn in the beginning, they gave no dates because they didn't want it, because we saw time and time again in the like mid 2000s to the 2010s where people would just announce stuff and be like, all right, here's the date, delayed. Here's the date, delayed. Here's the date, you know, just keep pushing it back. Like Kingdom Hearts 3, Final Fantasy 15, The Last Guardian were terrible proponents of this idea. And I think, you know, shareholders, developers, and fans all got tired of this and was just like, let's just swap the mindset. Let's either announce it and have a short turnaround window from when we announce it, like within like a 3-year window, or let's just not give a date. So that way we can have these shareholders like get the money raised and whatnot, but not over promise to the fans like, oh, it's coming soonish, and then we keep delaying it and kicking the can down the road, and we'll give a date when it's ready. So I agree with this. Like, and I'm kind of on the fence with that mindset of like, oh, if you're working on a game for a decade, just put it out, even if it's not good. I'm like, I get it, because like, to his credit, it's like it is a quarter of someone's career. At the same time, and this is where it kind of gets murky. Shareholders want an ROI, and it's like if you just put out a game and it's, you know, not what they envisioned, it was just kind of like, oh, we just want to push to the finish line, a la not Sea of Thieves, Skull and Bones.
Yeah.
It's not gonna give us good returns. So I'm kind of on the fence with that ideology, but I get what he's saying at the end of the day. It's like, if you're going to do it, see it through. Don't just cancel it halfway through, but also don't do it or announce it and it's going to be so far out down the wild that, you know, don't like, because there's another quick hit that I'm going to spoil that supposedly rumor is that like the Blade video game that we saw at VGA's started production late last year. So like when we saw it, they were just now starting the early conception phase. Supposedly, that's what it's rumored. Nothing hard facts, but still, that concerns me, because it's like, okay, if it just started production the year we saw it, makes me wonder that this game's going to be at least and that's another factor too, is game development takes so much longer now that you kind of have to just keep mum on the word till it's in the final lap, because you don't want to announce it halfway through or at the very beginning of production stage and then just be like, all right, where is it? This, why, you know, are you still working on it type thing? So, and then have to keep answering to investors, you know, that ask the questions like, all right, you had a couple years to work on this game. Where is it? How soon can we expect it? Blah, 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 you know?
Yeah, because then you run into like a Cyberpunk 2077 situation where the pressure from the fans is so great, because yes, Witcher 3 was amazing. People really loved it. They definitely supported it for a really long time. But then they got into a position where fans, like, this fervor was there. They were literally foaming at the mouth until they were literally putting out death threats. And then we get a game that is not even finished, not even ready, and then it takes a really long time for them to actually get it into a playable state. And people really love the game now, but the launch of it was not good. And it's like, you look at Fallout 4. Fallout 4,
yes,
they were quiet. And then it was like, summer, hey, Fallout 4 is a thing. Here's the look at it. It's going to be out in November.
What?
Yeah, it was
that was arguably the turn, you know, for a lot of like how people like did announcements, because it's like, all right, you've been wondering if we're ever going to do a sequel to Fallout 3. Here it is, and guess what? You get to play it in 4 months, huh? Wait, what?
Yeah, and dropping Fallout Shelter that same day to kind of stoke that and everything. It's like making smaller experiences like that is the way to go. But in this like realm, like to hit the like, oh, you should put it out and everything. I would argue Concord should have never come out. like Concord should have never
Facts.
been put out. It was just not a good game. And it's like you think about that, and it's like, yeah, this team has worked on it for a long time and everything. Should it have been charged? Should they have just canceled the game?
Yeah.
You know, and it's like if you put it out as like a early access thing, I don't know if you can write it off or whatever, like the tax ramifications and all of that. But it's like you look at these games, like Perfect Dark looks so good. It looked really interesting. And I know Bo is like forlorn over this and everything, but it looked like a really cool game. And now we're never going to get it.
Yep.
You know, and it's just, and it's not going to be like a Tango Gameworks kind of thing where it's going to get picked up or anything like that. But I think they need to be more stringent on what they approve to get made into a game.
Yes.
I think that's it. Like, just don't throw spaghetti at the wall and see if it's going to stick. Like, if you're going to limit budgets, you're going to have to make sure that you can ship whatever it is. Like, yes, art, there has to be some risk to it. There has to be some creativity to it and everything. But also know like what you're getting into, that, hey, yeah, investors, like there is risk to this. Like any kind of investment is a risk.
Yep.
And when you're putting this kind of stuff out there, you want people that know how to take risk and have actually seen returns. Like think about like any of Naughty Dog's games, like they're risky kind of endeavors, like the stories that they tell and all of that, because going from Uncharted to The Last of Us, you would have never thought that that would have been the trajectory, because it was like, oh, we could stay in the Uncharted world and we could just keep doing that like we know what we're going to make. A lot like the movies industry, it's like, oh, we're just going to keep making Fast and Furious. Like, yeah, we get a little bit less each time, but we can cut the budget down just a little bit to make up for that. But they were like, no, we're going to make a zombie game. And you're like, what? A zombie game? And then bang, it was amazing. And then they went back to Uncharted, you know, made a little bit more money. And then they came out with Last of Us 2. And it's like, you just have to let creatives do what they do.
Yep.
But you also have to put some guardrails around creatives. I'm a creative. All right.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not the most organized person, but, you know, having people that are around me that are organized, that understand other parts of things, makes me like be able to stay in my lane and enjoy what I do and not have to worry about the other crap.
Right. And not just even guardrails around creatives, guardrails around the higher ups too. Like, you know, like I said, game development is takes a lot longer now, and it takes more money and everything. You know, we keep beating this tired horse, but everything keeps going up. You know, like when we don't know if and when and where the tariffs are going to, you know, be imposed, but that's only going to increase the money even more. But again, so not to, well, I want to speak ill of the dead, but not to bring up the dead's name, but Jim Ryan, you know, like forcing studios to do something they're not good at either, like shoehorning in a genre that just because, oh, you see like 3 or 4 games are making, you know, hand over fist, that you need a piece of this pie too. But you're going to, instead of just relying on studios that know that's done this already and that's in their wheelhouse, you're going to force all your first party studios, and I'm talking about them being this live service initiative bullcrap, and we're going to force feed this down your throat, and every first party studio is going to be on board with live service, and we already see that is failing epically. And you know, he's out of office now, but that still, it's like you've already made this decision. People have already committed to these ideas, whether they wanted to or not, and it's like they have to suffer the consequences because of this, and the fans have to suffer because, you know, whether I know Last of Us Online for part 1 was good, but you know, people were ecstatic to see part 2, but because of whatever it was they were trying to force feed into the game was not working to make it live service, was not working, and they had to cancel it. When was the last time you heard Naughty Dog canceling a project? Let's just be fair. You haven't, at least since before PS4, probably. I don't know about PS3, but PS4 onward, you haven't heard of it. It's just not so. Also, knowing what like you had touched on it earlier, knowing what your studio's strengths are and just letting them play into that, rather than like now if they elect to be like, hey, we want to try our hand at this, like, cool, we'll give you that. Just be careful. We're gonna probably babysit you a lot on this process.
Needs to be a smaller project too.
Exactly, something that's not going to cost millions upon billions of dollars. But if you're basically holding them at gunpoint, it's like, you will do this, figure it out. It's not going to go well.
Yeah. They're not Tony Stark.
No,
You know, he
I didn't
might have
make it
built
with
it
a
in a
cave with a
cave,
box of scraps.
but it's like and even this, okay, I'm on call a spade here, okay?
Mhm.
Sony was so gung-ho about live services, they bought Bungie, but if you look at Bungie, they weren't doing great before they came over.
No, like, yeah, they were kind of finding their stride with Destiny since leaving Activision Blizzard, but it still wasn't making gangbusters.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, we're going to get them and they're going to help us with live service. And it's like they've kind of struggled bust their way through Destiny 1 and
Yeah.
2. It's like, but we're going to get them. And it's like, you sure about that?
Yeah.
You sure about that? Because like,
Because Marathon ain't shaping up to be great either. So.
no. And it's like being a old school Halo fan is like, oh man, PlayStation bought Bungie. It was exciting, but it's like looking at the track record, being objective, which is hard to do when it comes to video games.
Especially Sony.
Especially Sony, because we're Sony ponies, y'all. But it's like you look at it and it's like, yeah, that wasn't a good move. Like when it really comes down to it, that our $1 billion purchase probably wasn't a good move because it hasn't panned out.
Insomniac was their last great purchase because Insomniac just keeps pumping out games.
Yeah, they just keep pumping out banger after banger after banger. And it's like Bungie is just like struggling and having issue after issue after issue. And it's like, okay, it's like you can't really buy any big studios right now. And that's okay. Like I think spinning up studios out, like I know they spin up LFG or whatever it is, Teamlet's looking for games. Yeah, it's like, all right, we've got that spun up, but it's like that's spinning up out of Bungie, and it's like I don't have a lot of faith in Bungie right now. And it's like, okay, I think to wrap this up, because I feel like we're kind of beating the horse. We're just like where we're just whacking it a few more times while it's been dead for like 10 years. All in all, I think if you are going to make games, you have to have a stomach for risk and reward. The higher the risk, the higher reward. But you also have to know what gamers want and what your studios can make. Don't like,
and don't be afraid to call them out on it either. Because again, bringing up the 2018 documentary when Shuhei went in, because Shuhei had that gumption. He went in and he was excited for what Corey could do with God of War. He played this and he looked at him and Corey was all excited. He's like, man, he's gonna love this. He's gonna love this. Shu looks at him and is like, what's this crap? I hate it. And Corey's like, oh no, my career's on the line now.
Yeah. It's being honest. It's giving constructive feedback. It's calling people out when they need to be called out.
So they can to change over the course of development.
Yeah. That's what it takes. It takes real leadership. And I don't think there's a lot of that right now in some of these companies. It's a lot of yes men, a lot of people that are just looking at what the return is going to be, and shareholders that are really just kind of LeBroning it. You know what I mean? I love the Heat back in the day, y'all. I still like the Miami Heat, but LeBron, he loves to coach his own teams and not let the coach it. So, and that's what I feel like a lot of these shareholders are doing. So, but let's talk about something that we're excited about, Derek, and that is Ghost of Yotei State of Play. And we're going to be doing a deep dive on this bad boy. So let's do it, Derek.
So, Ghost of Yotei is coming out October 2nd. It takes place in Japan in the year 1603, many years after Ghost of Tsushima. You play as a girl named Atsu, who becomes a ghost after her family is killed by a group called the Yotei Six. Now she's on a mission to stop them one by one. The game lets you choose the order of the missions and gives you lots of weapons like swords, spears, chains, and even old guns. The world around you changes with the weather. There's snow, rain, and even northern lights. You can also do fun side quests like hunting down bounties or helping people. There are cool features like photo mode, cooking at camps, and black and white movie filters, the Kurosawa mode, obviously, to make the game feel like an old samurai film. Players online also are excited about the story and gameplay, but some say the graphics don't look much better than the first game. Still, if you liked Ghost of Tsushima, this looks like a lot of fun and exciting follow-up. And there's they did like a 30-40 minute video on this, so you can go check that out on YouTube. They did this the end of last week, and I did watch it, and it does look like, again, the choosing the whole missions, like what missions to do, like from the start, like you can go anywhere type thing, play it in whatever order, and like the bounties to like try and find to get, because I think they do give you incentives like, oh, you can get this weapon or this upgrade or whatnot, and this could help you go better, because again, like they play into like the stealth versus like just gung-ho vibe, but the different weapons, like the combos, and like you can, the thing that they undersold on this is you can switch to multiple different ones on the fly. Like I'm sure you can only have like 4 different ones at a time, and you can map them to like probably the D-pad or something like that. But I saw in a combat, they went to like the chain scythe, to a sword, to a spear, like, with all in like a flick of a button, like fighting the same group of enemies. And I'm like, man, that's dope. This is something I didn't know I needed for the Ghost series, but it makes so much sense in this one. And just like the bounties, and like they're even going to do like, because I think the thing that made Ghost of Tsushima stand out was like the character relationship quests that you had in there. Like you had like the stories, like Lady Masako and Sensei Ishikawa, like they're like in Norio, like they were the longest ones, but the further you played out, the deeper you got in touch with their characters, you learn more about them, like the character depth. They're doing something different this time, rather than have like just like progress after certain missions. Like, yes, they'll still have progression at different points, but when you set up, because you can set the campfires anywhere, and once you set up the campfires, your group that you have, I'm sure like it'll be the same way, where as you progress the story, you'll get introduced to these characters, will have like notifications that will give you side quests in their storylines, rather than have to wait for like, all right, I have to progress the story and get to like the next chapter for me to finish Masako's storyline or whatever.
Yeah. Dude,
so
Lady Masako's story, guys, if you've not played Ghost of Tsushima, which I'm debating, okay, y'all let me know down in the chat.
He's gonna play it again, isn't he?
I'm gonna play it again, but I'm gonna play it on stream.
Oh,
I'll cut away when I get to the hot springs, but play it again, but play it on stream and go through the whole thing, like both the main game and the DLC. Y'all let me know. Put a 5 in chat if y'all would like to see that, because I'm excited for this. I need to play Ghost again. Let me just be honest. It's time, y'all.
I must say, yeah. And y'all need to let him know soon, because that game takes a while, especially if you're gonna play the DLC. He needs to start this like beginning of August by the latest.
Yeah, because it's once a week.
Yeah,
y'all put 5s in the chat if y'all want to see that. But dude, I'm excited. Even if I don't play it on stream, I might play some off stream. I was literally packing stuff up, and I was like, oh, here's my PS5 version of Ghost, and I was like, I'll be seeing you in a little bit. But dude, I'm excited for this. Like the little bit I've seen, I've not jumped into seeing all this stuff on this. I do want to ask you a question, since you watched it, is do you think like switching to the different weapons is taking the place of the stances that we had in the first game?
I think so, because they included a lot of gameplay and they did not talk about stances. So I think having the different weapon variants, I think, is going to take place. They didn't say that specifically, or at least not that I caught, but I do believe, because they would have mentioned stances and whatnot. They didn't mention the ghost stance either, like where it fades to black, like once you get your kill count up. It didn't include that either, but
I don't remember them talking about it on the original one either,
right?
Like that being like a feature. But hey, I'm down for either. If they've got it, cool. If they don't, that's fine too.
But also, I think it would make better sense to take like the ghost stance. I feel like they would keep in there, just because it's like sort of like, oh, you hit rage mode type thing. But like the other stances against enemy types, I feel like that would be too conflicting, especially if you have the weapon variety. If you have like 4 different weapons equipped, like to do like the moon stance with the spear versus the scythe versus the sword, I feel like that would get too convoluted and too overbearing for players. So I feel like the weapons are going to take having different weapons on you at one time will be the replacement for the stances.
Yeah, I definitely understand that. I do want to ask as well, did they talk about like the time thing? They talked a little bit about it before, but I didn't know if they
Oh,
like
yes, they did. They did mention it. It's like, okay, so like you went back to your family home and you get to, and they made it seem like you could play it like you could switch on the fly to where like, you know, you go back to the past to where what happened at your home that led to you being on your quest for like the Kill Bill sort of quest for vengeance type thing, versus the modern day where you're just going there to inspect. Like you have to go back there just for like a mission, but you can replay that like that past playthrough as well. So, but they made it seem like you could switch to it on the fly. So I wanted, the only question I have with that is that they didn't really explain. Is like, will that mess up your gameplay continuity in the sense of like, if I play just as like, if I don't go back to like the past and replay that whole like scenario out, can I go back to it after I finish it in modern day? You know what I mean? Do I still have that option after? It's like, oh, can I still replay that memory? You know?
Yeah.
So
I wonder if Itachi's going to show up and kill your whole family.
You know, we'll see, and put you in that infinite genjutsu.
Yeah, it's like he made him watch him kill his parents 75 times.
You know, just in case you didn't get it ingrained in your brain the first time.
You know, we want to make sure. Okay, I'm excited about this, dude, and I know they said that they're going to be bringing on Samurai Champloo.
Yeah. Oh, that was another thing too. Like the music, they're gonna bring the person who did like when they said Samurai Shampoo, I freaked out. I'm like, oh, I like replay. I started replaying the opening in my mind. I'm like, this is great. That's all I need.
Yeah, I literally saw a clip on TikTok the other day. I was like, I need to go watch that. I need to go watch that. I never watched it. But dude, that's gonna be super dope because like having that, like being like just kind of going around is going to be great. So I'm looking forward to this. If you haven't already, make sure go play Ghost of Tsushima so you're ready for Ghost of Yotei. It's going to be great. October 2nd. And
the fact, and they're also doing, I think I have it in the quick hit. They did announce at the end, toward the end, that there will be special Ghost of Yotei PS5 faceplates and 2 different style of the DualSense controllers as well. Those look dope. I know I sent you the picture of that.
Yeah.
So I can't wait. And the fact that they keep saying that they, October 2nd, that they at this point, if they're having limited edition accessories, the date's going to stick. Like there's no, I mean, there's always still a chance it can get delayed, but I feel like the October 2nd, they will hit that date now. And I can't wait. Less than 2.5 months to go. I can't wait.
I'm wondering, they haven't said it's gone gold yet, have they?
No.
Okay. Once that hits, we're locked in. But yeah.
But also, I know it's an outlier, but you can't trust go gold anymore because Cyberpunk ruined that. They said they went gold and still delayed the game.
True. Yeah. Guys, it's going to be good. We're going to be playing it here on the Nerd Cave.
Zach is probably going to take the whole week off of work to play it.
If only, dude. If I could only take the whole week off, I might take that Friday off. Yeah. Play it. But let's jump into the Patreon quick hits. The Patreon quick hits are brought to you by our wonderful patrons. Go and support us over on Patreon. Get your very own Nerd Cave membership to help us continue to make awesome shows just like this one, eat, sleep, anime, and all the cool stuff that we're doing. So become part of the ship, part of the crew by going to patreon.com/nerdcave. Now it's time for the Patreon quick hits.
So starting off, the director on Naughty Dog's canceled Last of Us Online game is forming its own studio. PS5 ranked as May's best-selling hardware in the US in both units and dollars. Yoshi P is keen on making a game like Castle in the Sky from Studio Ghibli as a video game, like not the property, but just a game like that art style, I guess. Marvel, like I said earlier, Marvel's Blade reportedly only started production in late 2024. Astrobot's 5 new stages are out now, bringing the total number of levels to over 90. Let's go. Don't ever say you don't get bang for your buck on that one, man. So, is that well worth a $60 game in my opinion? Machine Games says going first person for Indiana Jones was, quote, a given for us. Sony reveals Ghost of Yotei themed PS5 covers and DualSense set to launch alongside the game on October 2nd. Marvel Rivals adds Phoenix new Domination map with season 3 content drop. Sea of Thieves studio Rare confirms plans for subscription-funded custom servers in 2026. The FBI seizes major Nintendo Switch piracy website. Ousted Subnautica 2 leadership files lawsuit against parent company Krafton as Row over $250 million bonus gets personal. Resident Evil Survival Unit is a global multiplayer experience set in a parallel universe featuring Leon, Jill, and the RE4 merchant. Donkey Kong Bonanza exists because Yoshiaki Koizumi asked the Mario Odyssey team for a 3D Donkey Kong game. So apparently you just have to ask. Meanwhile, in the seventh circle of hell, where we keep straying further away from God, stapler behind GameStop's infamous Switch 2 launch disaster is up for auction, and the bidding is now over $100,000. People will literally pay for any freaking thing just to say that they have it for clout. My God, like when I saw this, I could not facepalm harder because GameStop does not need the publicity. Anyway, sorry. I'm had a minor crash out.
He's got trauma, y'all. He's got trauma.
10 years worth. 10 years built up. Fortnite announces extra month of content for its new Blitz Royale, making fans wonder if it will become a permanent mode. Stalker 2 is announced for PS5 and will come out later this year. EA's Star Wars Battlefront 2 was the 12th best-selling game in the US in May, and it is up from number 135 the month before. So all the TikTok and Twitch streaming did it some justice. That Halo Combat Evolved Remake will reportedly only feature the campaign. Kind of fine with that, but also a weird decision. Dragon Quest VII Fragments of the Forgotten Past Remake is reportedly in development and set for a 2026 release date. Ken Levine says Judas is an old school and traditional single-player game. Sony Bend has, quote, multiple canceled / unannounced projects, according to former employee. Forza Horizon 5 reportedly sold 2 million copies on PS5 in 1 month. I'd like to know how that compared to when it launched on Xbox in its first month, but I digress. EA shelves Need for Speed franchise as its car culture site Speed Hunters winds down. Nintendo has filed a copyright notice for an untitled Donkey Kong motion picture. Final Fantasy producer Naoki Yoshida says there's not a clear-cut answer whether future entries will be turn-based following Claire Obscure's success. Overwatch 2 director says Blizzard wants to get back to story content after fans feel it dropped the ball with PvE. That's an understatement. Smash Brothers creator marks the 10-year anniversary of Nintendo president Satoru Iwata's death. Can't believe it's already been 10 years. I know where I was when I got that news. SpongeBob SquarePants Easter egg in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3+4 is only accessible via the deluxe edition. Boo. Why are we doing content locks behind different editions again, man? Just stop it. Fatal Fury City of the Wolves is adding Street Fighter's Ken Masters this summer. Arc System Works has reportedly canceled a new Guilty Gear title. Rumor, Fallout 5 has been fully greenlit, but it's unknown who is leading development. 2014 Dead Island 2 would have killed the franchise, says former exec. Quote, it had nothing to do with what made the original really fun. The only official John Wick video game, is being pulled from all platforms 6 years after release. ZeniMax Union responds to Microsoft canceling unannounced MMO and saying, quote, a future has been stolen from us. Microsoft employee criticized for advertising Xbox graphics role using AI slop artwork just weeks after mass layoffs. Again, foot and mouth, just foot and mouth. It's Bungie all over again. THQ Nordic sparks rumors of Kingdoms of Amalur sequel after trademarking Fate Keeper. Sony confirms it has no plans for an exhibit at Gamescom. The Last of Us Season 3 planned for 2027 and could be the series' end, HBO boss says. Steve's Lava Chicken song has been added to Minecraft, but you'll need to hunt a chicken jockey to find it. Nintendo says Donkey Kong Bonanza has come to symbolize 3D Donkey Kong in a separate branch to the 2D games. Tokyo gaming mecca Akihabara set to lose landmark former Sega arcade after 32 years. Ubisoft boss Yves Guillemot confirms plans for Creative House's structure in internal memo to staff. Sonic Racing Crossworlds release date has been set for September 25th. Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater support studio Virtuous confirms company restructure following layoff rumors. Roblox's new safety feature includes an AI that will guess your age based on a video selfie. Weird. And lastly, God of War devs' new project is reportedly not a sci-fi game or a new IP.
Boy. maybe. I know we've talked a lot about, like a Greek god of war or something
Yeah.
like that.
Well, and of course, there's also rumors going around there that it could be one of like a side character spinoff like Atreus or Thrud as well.
Yeah. Thrud would be kind of fun, like a
Yes.
grown-up Thrud.
Mm-hmm.
It would also be pretty dope to like play as like Thor when he's just like murking giants.
Oh,
left and
yeah,
right.
for
Oh my
sure.
god, that would be so fun.
Before it becomes a drunken mess.
Yeah. I looked up the units for Forza Horizon. Like
Mhm.
apparently Xbox doesn't
Post the numbers.
post
Probably because of
numbers.
Game Pass, but
Yeah, the global player count was 45 million in April. Initial launch success was 4.5 million players on launch day one.
Huh.
First week reached around 10 million players. Xbox has generated over 120 million in revenue from Forza Horizon 5, but that might also be the 2 million that they sold.
So, but still, 2 million in a month on a new system after the game's been out for several years is still impressive.
Yeah.
It's the power of PlayStation.
PlayStation. Dude, some crazy stuff in there. When is old Yves going to just retire? I do want to play the new Donkey Kong though, dude. It looks
I know
so
when
good.
I saw that 10 on IGN, I was like, bro.
Yeah.
I'm like,
they're
'cause I
getting
don't think
10s all
even-
over the
'cause I-
place.
Because I know Tropical Freeze did well, but it didn't even get that way. It didn't even do that well.
No. Like this one is doing really well. It looks so good. And it's like people are like, oh, if you could choose, kind of funny was talking about this. If you could choose Galaxy 1, 2, Odyssey, or Bonanza, which one would you play if you could only play one? And Tim was like, Bonanza. He's like, it's the perfect version of those games.
That's crazy because
And
Tim,
I'm like,
I know Tim loves Galaxy.
Yeah. So, and it's like, I love Odyssey. Odyssey is my favorite Nintendo game of all time, hands down.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, when I get a Switch 2, that's the first game I'm playing.
Now watch. By the time you get it, they'll announce Odyssey 2, and you're like, never mind, I'll just wait.
And, I got something to look forward to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Joe says, I think the worst part of it is the look of DK. I don't think DK looks that bad in it.
Right.
This is kind of like a modern version of him. And plus, like, I feel like they're definitely I think they're trying to model it more after the Mario movie DK.
Yeah.
Because that movie did so well.
Right.
That I feel like they're definitely doing that. So, but yeah, there you have it, everybody. That is this episode of the Nerd Cave News. You're going to be getting some Eat Sleep Anime over the next week. And Derek will be holding down the fort next Thursday on Nerd Cave News.
Mm-hmm.
And then once Amy and I are moved back in, looks like we might play some Ghosts of Tsushima.
Mm-hmm.
So get ready for that. It's going to be a great time. Make sure to check out our review of Apothecary Diary Season 1. It's available right now on the channel. And we hope that y'all have a wonderful weekend. This has been Zach
and Derek.
Y'all have a blessed week. Bye-bye.